Okay, these are the fixed blades that I own. I'm going to go through all of them, see what they are, how much they cost, and whatnot, and what their pros and cons of each one is. So yeah, we have an M-Tech survival knife. If you Google that, you'll find it. $15 for that. This is an Aqualung US Divers Master Knife. It is $70. This is a Gordon hunting knife. This is about $30 on eBay. And this is a SOG Jungle Primitive. It's about $30 on eBay also. So let's start with the SOG. I'll just go this direction. Alright. Hello. So, SOG one. Well, first it has a place. The sheath has a place for a sharpener, and I keep my sharpener in there, so that's good. How you doing? So, the thing I use to measure if the knife is a good size for me is I think that your hand should barely be able to span the blade, the actual cutting edge of the knife from the beginning to the tip. So that length is something that you should be able to get to. Like this one. Oh, hey, I can't see that way, Solomon. I can just barely get to the edge of that. And I think that's how you should know if a knife's good, bigger, too big or too small. If you can't reach it if you're like this, then you probably should be carrying it. But this is a huge knife. It's big. There's no way around that. But against me, it doesn't look big because of how big I am. So I need a bigger knife just because. These little knives look really tiny on me. So yeah, I like this one because it doesn't look like it's that big because I'm holding it and my frame is bigger. Yeah. Cool little knife. These little things for making notches in wood on the back as a blade and the serrations. Like I usually do, I use the edge as much as I can and I save the serrations for if I really, really need it. The sheath, it sucks. It's a little nylon one. The little button thing that was holding that had a strap that went over to hold the knife and that came off. The Velcro is meh. I've had a problem with Velcro. The sheath looks flimsy, it feels flimsy, and there's not very good holding the knife in with this. And it's really big. It's bigger than it needs to be. Because you look, there's all of this extra room around it that does not need to be there. It just makes it more cumbersome, and the sheath isn't flexible at all. It doesn't bend. Because there's like this piece of there's something in here that's stopping the edge from cutting out the side of the sheath. But that makes it completely rigid and does not want to move. Yeah, the knife, I love the knife. It's light, it's long, it's big, and it's full tang too, so I won't have to worry about breaking it. So yeah. The next one is the Gordon hunting knife. Ignore this. You know that $20 Winchester knife at Walmart? Yeah, I broke that. Took it out twice and used it, and it's just snapped at the hilt. Right where the crossguard is, it just snapped off. And I'm like, really? And I just chucked the blade. I hid the blade somewhere so it's out there in case I ever need to go out there and I don't have my knife with me, which I won't. But yeah, I kept the sheath because this is my fiance's father's knife, and she has it. I'm just borrowing for this. This is the one she usually carries if we go hiking. And she said, "Oh, can I have the sheath for that one? Because this one actually fits it better. And it's a lot snugger. It has this. I really prefer this above anything else. I prefer around the handle fasteners. Yes. Yeah, this is it looks really nice, and my hand fits across this a lot easier. I have almost the whole knuckle of my thumb goes over it. And I beat this knife to crap. I broke, those master padlocks? There was one that was rusting, and there was a chain next to it, and the chain was rusting. I broke that with this. And it took me about 20 minutes to sharpen this with the bastard file, and the tip was already broken when I got it, so I fixed the tip of it too. You can see how it's like a different color. If I can hold it still. That's different color. It's all beat up. There was a whole bunch of nicks in the blade, and I just kept filing it down until the nicks were gone. The back teeth on here are really good. They're really sharp, they're really rigid, and they're really thick, so they won't just break off, which I like. Things I don't like about it, I don't like round handles at all. I will take any knife that is given to me. That's just because how I am, because I like knives. But if someone asked me, do you want this knife or this one? I would not pick this one because I do not like round handles. Because if you need to get your knife out in a hurry, you're not going to be thinking at all. My worst fear with a fixed blade, with a round handle, is it'll be somewhere and I will pick it up without paying attention and I'll swing like this. And I just slap someone with my knife instead of cutting when I meant to cut them. You don't know. There's too much room for error with a round-handled knife, because you can look and guess, you can look at it, but you're not going to be thinking. I prefer the least amount of thinking possible. The other thing I don't like about it is they planned for this blade to fail, because the blade's replaceable. There's a little hex screw in there. You just unscrew that, you can take the blade out, put a new one in. I hate that because you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to replace your blade. I mean, I understand, like, after like maybe decades, like, long, yeah, that makes sense. You need to replace your blade, but you shouldn't plan for that to happen. You shouldn't plan for your blade to need replacing. Like I said, this knife was really easy to to pull metal off and sharpen. And like Cutlery Lover said, when you're sharpening, you're taking metal off. This one was really easy to sharpen. So it gets sharp really fast, but it doesn't hold its edge very well. Winchester sheath from Walmart. It's a good sheath, but the knife sucked. Like, see, it doesn't even fit in there all the way. This part's still sticking out, but since I have this, I can just close it over. Let's skip that one, go to the M-Tech. This was my first fixed blade. My sister's boyfriend got me this because I wanted to take a knife hiking, and you don't take a folding knife hiking. This is what I meant by knives looking tiny on me. Anyone else carrying this, it looked normal, but this looks like a toy when I'm holding it, because against my hand, my whole entire pinky goes over it. And I beat this knife to crap too. I used to take it with me all the time, and I used it. The blade's completely dull now. The teeth on the back are still good. That's why I really like the idea of these teeth. The SOG knife would be perfect if it had the teeth on the back instead of those notches. Well, maybe like half teeth and half notches would be good, but I don't know. I'm not a knife designer. But this thing is really light. Surprisingly, the SOG is still lighter. That's why I really like it. But this knife is really light, really small, and I think it's more of a knife you get a 12-year-old if you're going to take them hiking. Because a knife should be big, especially if you're hiking. That more blade, the easier it is to do. It's like changing gears on a bike. You're using a small blade, you're going to be working a lot. You won't have as big of a knife, and you'll be working a lot. There'll be more repetitive movements instead of just doing work. The longer blade, you can just do this and you'll get much more done instead of having to do this. The handle on it has the checkered pattern like guns have. I don't know. I've never had a problem with textures of handles. I've never dropped my knives. I don't know why people have a problem with that, because I never dropped them. But the shape is good, but I don't like it going out like that. Because that's just not how my hand. I have very squishy hands, very squishy. I don't even have knuckles. Look, I barely have knuckles. But if I feel like if I held this hard enough for long enough for it to start hurting, I could hold this SOG forever. Yeah, $12 for this cheap throwaway knife, and you want to give it to a kid or just destroy it because you're bored. Sure, why not? And the last one, most expensive of all of them, the Aqualung, the $70 one. I got this at a antique store for how much was it? $30. Got it for half the price of what it really was. This you don't see a lot, which I really like. And take the, not really serrations, but, well, technically it is, but taking up more than half the blade is what I really like that. Again, it's really small. And this one has a round handle, but it doesn't bother me because the handle isn't huge. Like with the Gordon, the handle's round, but there's all this so if I just grab it randomly, I could be holding it sideways and I wouldn't know because there's nothing defining on the bottom. Oh wait, I didn't show that. Only advantage of having a round handle. You hide your drugs. Ugh. Those aren't drugs. There's like needle and threaded matches in there. I like that. That's good, but still a round handle. And you'd be carrying a backpack anyway, so I don't know why you need to hide it in your knife. It's more of a... What's that word? What's that word when you say it's more for show than it is for actual functionality? Whatever. And I can never close the daggum thing after I open it, because it's metal. Metal doesn't like threading. I didn't even know what the brand of this knife was. It took me forever to be able to read that because I beat the bottom of it when I was using it. But you look at the two, this knife's definitely bigger. This knife is definitely better though. Like I'm hitting the metal against the crossguard and it's solid. It's really hard plastic. There's a weight in the pommel so it's balanced. Not only is it balanced, but ouch. Not only is it balanced, but it has weight on the bottom, so it's a diving knife. It's what it's for. So it'll go sink down to the bottom, and it'll probably be sticking up like this. But something that's really cool on it is it has inch measurements on it. I'm guessing you're supposed to there was some kind of sea creature. If it's under a certain length, you're not allowed to take them. Yeah, this knife's completely dull. Nothing. This thing can't cut anything. I mean, I could just slit my throat and nothing would happen. But this one definitely has the best sheath on it because this is the diving one. It has all these straps on it attached to your leg. And I really like this too. It has a little rubber ring that stretches over the handle, so it just doesn't come off, which I think is good. And also, it's kind of like a retention holster for a gun. It has these two little, not hooks, but like two little pieces of plastic. So you have to, if I just pull it, it doesn't come out. It has to be pulled away from this part. This has to be pulled away before you can pull it out, because it catches on the crossguard. So if I start from the beginning. Oh, by the way, the SOG has this on the bottom of it. It's full tang and it goes all the way down to the bottom, out the bottom. So you have something that's attached to the blade that you can hit against. You can use the hammer. So if I was going to have my little dream knife, what I would do... It's kind of ironic. The crappiest of all the knives has the best sheath retention I've ever seen in it. Of all of these, has the best retention. Because I could just hang it upside down while it's halfway out. It's not coming out. I think you can hear that too. But my little dream knife would be definitely the handle and the bottom of the SOG and the full tang of the SOG. I would make it thinner. Like I would make it more symmetrical, like a straighter. Like I like it thinner. I don't like the belly is good on a knife, but I don't like it going out that much because that way it'll be a smaller sheath. So if I could, I would have handle and the hammer part of the SOG, the sheath retention of the MTech, the sheath shape and functionality of the Aqualung, and let's see, and the blade thinness of the Gordon. Also, I would put teeth on the back instead of these little notching things. I'd have some of that, but not completely. And I'd really like to have it more than have like this much serrated and this much plain edge, like this Aqualung has. I really like the shape of this, and it's like really like it's rubber, but I kind of like the feel of this hard plastic more. So I probably have the handle made out of this stuff. Yeah, mostly the SOG is definitely. I haven't used it like that much, but I don't know. It's between the Aqualung and the SOG, definitely for me. Like I know this one would last. This one will last longer because it's already lasted this long, and I'm pretty sure this thing's older than I am. The SOG, but SOG has the current. What's that word? I can never think of words when I'm recording. I have no idea why. Not ingenuity. It has current technology to make them more efficient. So yeah. Let's see. I can hold up all these. There's all of them. But price-wise, the Aqualung's expensive, but that's because the brand, not only the brand name, but the quality of it is insane. Because even now, however old it is, it's still like shaped up. All it has to do is be sharpened. Like, it doesn't even need to be like take that much metal off. It just needs to make the edge thinner. And I don't know how to sharpen serration, so I probably won't even touch that. I really, really wanted to carry this like under my pant leg, but I live in California and concealed fixed blades are illegal. It's weird. I could carry a sword on my hip. If a fixed blade is on your hip outside of your clothes, it's completely legal. There's no length law. So I could carry a sword on my hip and I'd be fine, technically. I can still get in trouble I'm sure I can still get in trouble. But I can't hide it. A folding knife, any length you want, as long as it's concealed. So I can, as long as I could carry a folding butterfly knife, as long as I won. So it wasn't really a butterfly knife. I could carry a folding knife that's like a foot long, as long as it's inside my clothes and you couldn't see it. What? I feel like I'm rambling now. I should probably stop. You know what? I really think this is like goes age-wise what you should get. Like little kid, like from 10 to 12, or like from any age to like 12, get him this thing. It's not heavy. A little kid will be able to swing it harder than they could a stick because how light it is. Then I would get him like 13 to 15, get him this knife, because not only it looks cool, there's no way around it, it looks cool, and you see it on TV everywhere, you see the shape, you know what this is. Then when they get a little older and get out of it, you give them the more efficient one, which would be this one. So I'd say around my age, 19 to 25, I'd guess you'd use this one. Then as you get a little older, you care more about quality than looks, and you'd probably get the Aqualung. And I need to clean this thing. I don't know how I'm going to clean it. There's actually blood on it. That's disturbing. Huh. I probably shouldn't be touching this. That's gross. Yeah, I think that should be the order it goes. Fixed blades for the win.